months later, I had a CT scan, and then they saw new metastasis in my spine and my pelvis. So that was a big shock for me, and I thought that I go to die. And sorry. So now I'm here, and I hope that this treatment can heal my body, and I feel myself very well. I'm for 2 weeks here now. This is my last week, and I feel myself, I have a lot of energy. I feel myself very healthy, very clean, and yes, I trust. I have more trust in a good result for me. And I have 2 little children, 2 boys, 12 and 6 years old, and I want to survive for myself, but especially for them. They are too young to lose their mother. So I'm very thankful that I'm find a clinic like this, and that we have hope. It's very important, I think, that you have hope in this situation.
I was getting on the elevator on my second day here, and I heard an accent that was familiar. And I thought, where do I know that from? And then somebody asked, well, where are you from? And I heard Elestra say, I'm from the Netherlands. And so I said to her, well, kan je Hollands praten? Which is, can you speak Dutch? And she looked at me like, oh, what? She goes, yeah. And so we just started talking in Dutch. And later I heard the rest of the story. So she told me that before she left, she was a little anxious about going. And so a friend of hers said, well, why don't we pray that somebody sends a Dutch-speaking person to Hope4Cancer, which is an audacious prayer. It's just, you don't, there's like, Holland is a very small country. Nobody speaks Dutch. But she had the audacity to pray it. And then when I heard that part of the story, I just got really emotional, because it just felt like it was a confirmation for me. You hear all the time, God is in work in this place. God is doing things. And you hear that about a lot of things. And so to have that story happen so early in my experience here was just one of those miraculous confirmations that I will hold that story for the rest of my life. It's going to be one of those things that I'll never forget.
Ik was verrast en verbaasd. En ik had het natuurlijk helemaal niet verwacht. Ik had hem een dag voor al gezien. En dat was zijn eerste dag. En dan zie je af en toe de nieuwe mensen zitten. Maar ik had nog geen enkel idee dat hij Nederlands zou spreken. Dus ik was vooral heel erg verbaasd. Ja. En dat bevestigde hij met hoe ik keek. Dat dat het ook wel duidelijk zichtbaar was aan mij. Yeah.
I loved it. So in 2018, I found out that I had bladder cancer. I did not have any negative symptoms. I was just going in for my annual checkup, which they did a urine sample and they found some blood in it. And so they said, well, we need to get that checked out. That's not right, not good. So I went to the oncologist and found out I had tumors in my bladder. Fortunately, they were non-muscle invasive, and so they could address that simply with surgery. And then last November, I was diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer. And as I started talking to surgeons, I was kind of headed in the typical modern medicine track, and they were talking about taking it out, and I talked to various surgeons, but because of the close association between the prostate and the bladder, they were talking about some complications and some potential side effects that were just not attractive. And I just said, like, I don't feel right about that. I don't feel peace about it. And so serendipitously, a friend just said, well, have you thought about a metabolic approach? And I never really heard of that. And so they referred me to Hope4Cancer. I started watching the videos and reading some of the articles. And it was one of those experiences where, you know, when somebody's saying something and they're putting words to things you've already felt, it was that kind of experience. So they were impressions, intuitions that I had, and I thought, wow, when they started explaining it that way, I was like, that makes so much sense. Well, my experience at Hope4Cancer has been amazing, and I don't use that word lightly. It feels to me as if Dr. Tony said, what is the best way to address the person and the cancer together? So let's put it in a great place. Let's hug them when they come in the door. Let's teach people how to address each other by their name, smile, be positive, encouraging, and then let's put them in a room with fellow strugglers and warriors who equally have hope and understanding about the process. You know, it's just like they have thought through every angle. And I had to laugh a little bit at the first day because I was not expecting the hug when I got in the door. Usually when I go, and I love my surgeons, I've had great experiences with modern medicine, so I'm not anti-modern medicine. But I can tell you that I did not get a hug the moment I walked into urology, my urology office. I was asked for my insurance card, and I could find a seat somewhere over here in the lobby. And it was a very stale facility, you know, no windows in any of the rooms, and so the whole experience of thinking through the grid of because people say, you know, we're not just treating the cancer, we're going to treat the person with the cancer, but this facility has actually created an environment where that was the driving, it seems to me at least, the driving architectural presupposition for the whole thing. And it's been amazing.
Mijn ervaring in het ziekenhuis in Nederland, dus de conventionele behandelingen. Wat me daar vooral is opgevallen is dat er geen hoop gegeven wordt. Dus op het moment dat je met een uitzaaiing geconfronteerd wordt, dan is de hoop daarmee ook opgegeven. En wordt er gezegd dat je ongeneeslijk ziek bent. En heb ik vooral de indruk gekregen dat het ook allemaal niet zoveel meer uitmaakt. Niet uitmaakt wat je doet, dat de resultaten ook niet zoveel meer uitmaken. Alsof het ook allemaal niet zoveel zin meer heeft. En ik denk dat dat een hele negatieve uitwerking heeft op je mentale gezondheid, maar daardoor ook op je fysieke gezondheid. En dat is het grote verschil. Ik denk het grootste verschil met hier zijn is dat er dus hoop is. Altijd. En dat je altijd, ik denk vooral de moeite waard bent. Dat je dat gevoel krijgt om alles te proberen wat mogelijk is. Om langer te leven dan dat de statistieken misschien zeggen. Of toch tegen alle verwachtingen in wel te helen. En om vooral op een positieve manier met je gezondheid bezig te zijn. Ja. En ondersteuning te geven aan je lichaam. Ik had ook heel erg de behoefte om zacht en liefdevol met mijn lichaam om te gaan. En ik denk dat al deze therapieën daar heel erg op zijn gericht. En daarnaast is het, je komt nu met andere mensen in contact die er hetzelfde in staan. Dus je komt met gelijkgestemden in contact. En dat geeft ook heel veel kracht. Het is een eenzame diagnose, zo ervaar ik het. Een eenzame reis die je aflegt. En om dat dan samen met mensen te mogen doen die er hetzelfde over denken. Ja, dat geeft heel veel positieve energie en heel veel kracht.
Ja, mijn vriend. Yeah, so that is probably the coolest part of it, outside of the, the hope that you have for treatment, is meeting the other people. So we kind of spontaneously planned a little worship service on Sunday, and we were sitting in a circle of about, 12, 15 people.
Yes.
And everybody goes around the circle, and we started with the question, what's been most helpful to you in your journey? And people just shared spontaneously, raw emotion. People were willing to talk about their hope, but there are also their fears and frustrations and discouragements. And we prayed for each other, shared communion together. And I think I've made lifelong friends. I mean, I know I'm going to stay in touch with Elestra.
Yes.
We're trying to coordinate when they're coming back. And so, yeah, it's been beautiful.
Ja, daar ben ik het absoluut mee eens. Dus
Ja.
het is een... ik denk dat we verbonden met elkaar zijn doordat we gewoon allemaal deze reis maken. En op dezelfde manier naar heling kijken en werken aan je gezondheid. En dat we dan ook nog een stukje hebben, dat jij in Nederland bent geboren. En dat we daarin ook in mijn eigen taal, die voor mij veilig voelt. En dat we daarin ook kunnen delen. Dat is waardoor we net, denk ik, een stukje dieper kunnen gaan af en toe in onze gesprekken. Ja. Dus dat is absoluut heel fijn om te mogen ervaren. Ja. En heel helpend ook voor mij. Ja.
Voor mij wel.
Of als ik af en toe toch met vragen zit die voor mij wat lastiger zijn om in de Engelse taal te stellen, dan weet ik jou te vinden. En dan komen we er meestal samen wel aan uit. Ja. Dus dat is heel erg fijn. Ja. Voelt heel vertrouwd.
Yes.
Ja.
I love it.
Ja.